The story of Scream 7 has been quite the story. Basically, we're going back to formula. We're going back to the classic. We're going back to Sidney Prescott versus Ghostface. After only one movie apart, that part is a little bit funny that we got one movie without Nev Campbell, and they're pushing this as like the big return of Nev Campbell. And it's like, bro, it was one movie without her. Okay. Don't get me wrong. I'm excited for it. There are opinions all across the board on this. You got a lot of people that are like, we've seen this a million times. Let's quit doing it. Me personally, I'm simple. I'm easy. I see Sydney, I see Ghostface. I'm entertained. I'm interested. Okay. This is the franchise of my generation. Our grandparents had Leatherface, our parents had Jason. Kids born in the 90s have Ghostface. That's just kind of the way it is. And kids born in the 90s had Sidney Prescott. Look, maybe a hot take here, maybe not. I think Sidney Prescott is the badass that everybody acts like Laurie Strode was. Okay? Love Laurie Strode. Love the original Halloween. Love what they've done with her in all the sequels, blah, blah, blah. Except for Resurrection, of course. Anyways, in the original Halloween, yeah, she gets the kids out of there, right? She does protect the kids that she's babysitting, but she's literally about to die when Loomis shows up and saves her. I don't understand this. People talk about Laurie Strode as if she single-handedly whooped Michael Myers. Dude, she was going to die. First of all, the only reason she didn't die sooner is because of this incredible plot armor where as soon as Michael showed up, as soon as Michael got to Laurie, he starts missing wide open shots at her. Like he gets full on open shots from behind and he's missing just incredible plot armor. And then, of course, at the very end, she is literally being strangled to death when Loomis shows up and saves her. People talk about her like she's the one that karate kicked Michael Myers out of a building. I don't understand. Sidney Prescott, on the other hand, has literally been fighting Ghostface since the first movie. Actually fighting him, actually landing kicks, and actually doing damage. Now, there's the argument that, of course, in the first movie, she was fighting other high school kids. Whatever, the point remains the same. Sidney Prescott has been kicking ass since Scream 1. That's always been my thing with her. I think she's awesome. I always have. Nev Campbell is always welcome back as the main character of the Scream movies in my book. And then there's also the whole story with Melissa Barrera getting fired, and you've still got people on Twitter talking about boycotting the movie, and that's all fine and good. More power to them. Me personally, I love this franchise. I'm gonna go see this movie. It's that simple for me. So, anyways, I'm gonna pull this trailer up. We're gonna watch this. There's quite a few things actually to point out in it.
This is it.
Can't believe we're staying at the Psycho Killer B&B.
Okay, right off the bat, actually, I feel terrible pausing it right here. Hold on.
Oh, that's so cool. It's a motion detector.
Okay, so yeah, that was a fake ghost face. Right off the bat, actually, I'm not really a fan of this kind of. It looks like they turned Stu Macher's house into an Airbnb, and I don't know. That's just me. One of my few complaints about this trailer. Just okay, fine. We got a little Airbnb. I would imagine this is going to be the opening scene. I don't obviously I don't know, but the Scream movies always have to have an opening scene where somebody dies, and it's I don't know. I could see this being the opening scene. Is the main point of what I'm saying.
Hello?
Something about that caller ID. I guess I don't remember. I also have an iPhone. Does your phone, when it's an unknown number, will it give you the town that it's from? Like, yeah, we don't know who's calling, but we know the town they're calling from. I can't remember. I know I get unknown calls all the time. I guess I should pay attention to that, but I did notice that. I thought that was a little funny.
Hello?
Hello, Sydney. Did you miss me? Nice little town you found. You and your pretty daughter. Reminds me of where we grew up.
Well,
Wow, you sure know a lot about me for another asshole hiding behind a voice changer.
Oh, I'm not hiding, Sydney. Not this time.
So people obviously are pointing out those two lines from Ghostface where he says it reminds me of where we grew up. And then he says, I'm not hiding, not this time. This is going to lead to something we'll hear at the very end of the trailer. Obviously, people are thinking this is going to be a guy from, Sydney's past. And there is one person that everybody thinks it's going to be. Again, we'll get to that at the end. I'm not decided on it yet. I could easily believe that it's just a major red herring that the trailer is throwing at us to sell tickets, but who knows? I guess we'll find out. Dude, I just love this though. I'm sorry. I don't care. I don't care. People make the jokes about how we're going to get in the future, we're going to get Sydney versus Ghostface in the retirement home. Fine. I'd be fine with that. Bring me, dude, in 30 years, 20, 30, whatever, 40 years, bring me Sydney versus Ghostface in a retirement home in wheelchairs. I don't care. I'll go watch it. I'll go see it. I just don't care. I just like it. I just like those two characters fighting. I think just diehard Scream fans will always love seeing Sydney versus Ghostface. It's just something about those two characters. In the same way that diehard Halloween fans probably will always love seeing Laurie fight Michael Myers. As much as I just dogged on Laurie a little bit earlier, I still love the Halloween movies, and I always love seeing Laurie come back to the franchise. It's nostalgic, right? We are getting a lot of nostalgia marketed to us in these cases, but sometimes I don't mind it. And this is one of those times when I really don't mind it. I actually quite enjoy it.
Down to the end.
I want to be a fighter, like you. If you hurt her.
I'm not going to hurt her until you're here to see it.
Let's unmask this fucker.
I love Gale. I love Gale Weathers. I am a big Gale fan. Something about Monica from Friends also just being every bit as badass as Sydney, let's be honest. Right? Sydney, this is her franchise, but now actually Gale has been in more movies than Sydney. She has been in more Scream movies than Sydney Prescott. So I would argue this franchise is just as much Gale's as it is Sydney's. This is a great relationship, this friendship between these two. I mean, we've been there since day one when they hated each other. So it's really nice to see. And I think they've done it well over the franchise, right? Where Scream 1, 2, and 3, Scream 1, they hate each other. Scream 2, they don't like each other. They kind of coexist. Similar for Scream 3. Then we get to Scream 4. They're older, so they're cordial. They hug each other, but they're not quite great friends. And then by the time Scream 5 comes around, they're just totally ready to whoop ass together. They're totally down to team up. Again, I'm sure every diehard Scream fan feels the same way. They like seeing these two on screen together. They like seeing these two team up together. I think it's a good relationship. It's a good pairing.
All your friends died for just being near you.
I do have to say, I hate this kid, this actor. Is it Mason Gooding? Yeah, Mason Gooding. I can't stand this guy, this fucking actor. I loved Hard Eyes. I do have to say, I loved Hard Eyes. I got that movie on DVD as soon as it came out on home video. I love Hard Eyes. I hate this actor. I don't know what it is. Just something about him. Just something about his pretty boy fucking face. I just can't fucking stand this guy. I also can't stand that he easily should have died after Scream 5 and Scream 6. This guy's been stabbed so many times, it's ridiculous. So if they don't kill him off in this movie, I will complain about that a lot. That will be my biggest complaint about Scream 7. If they do not finally kill off Mason Gooding, I'm going to be pissed.
For just being near you.
Where is my daughter? Tatum, listen to me. He's trying to find a...
You also gotta love that Sydney named her daughter Tatum. Of course, it's actually funny. I am stupid. I didn't even realize that until a couple hours after I saw the trailer for the first time. I texted it to my sister. My sister is also a big Scream fan. And she texted back and said, you think Sydney named her daughter Tatum after Tatum in the first Scream? And I thought, oh, duh. I didn't even realize that. one of those callbacks that actually makes sense. You know, a lot of these movies will put in these Easter eggs and callbacks that there's no reason, there's no rhyme or reason. They're just doing it because, you know, the director likes old horror movies or because the writer is a horror fan. But this is one of those callbacks where it actually makes sense. It's, you know, okay, she named her daughter after her best friend. So
Another way in. We're gonna do this together. You're gonna have to shoot him through the wall. Where? To the right of the door. Shoot him now! Do it now! Oh, you got it. He's dead. You need to make sure you shoot him in the head.
I'm gonna burn it all down.
Mother!
This is gonna be fun.
So it's that little part right there at the end. You only hear the audio, you hear some voice saying this is going to be fun.
This is gonna be fun.
Everyone points out that that sounds an awful lot like Stu Macher. So that's kind of the thing with this trailer. Everyone thinks this is going to be the big return of Stu from Scream 1. And I'd be totally down for it. You know, in the same way that I'm down to see Sydney take on Ghostface, I am down for that Ghostface to be Stu from the first movie. I think people have been calling for the return of Stu since like Scream 4. You know, this great debate of did the TV kill him or not has basically been going on since, you know, forever. I liked the trailer. I liked it. Again, you see complaints, you see people that love it. It just depends on who you ask. I like it. I'm a very simple man when it comes to Scream. Like I've said, you give me Sydney, you give me Ghostface, I'm down for it. My history with the Scream franchise is actually kind of funny. I was born in 1993, so I was only 3 when the first movie came out. Throughout my childhood, you know, I was never allowed to watch horror movies. I was never allowed to watch R-rated movies really when I was a kid. So I didn't really see my first Scream movie until Scream 4 when I was in high school. I'm sure maybe I caught some glimpses of the first 3 movies here and there throughout my youth, passing by TVs and whatnot. But what I do remember was when I was a kid and I was old enough to go trick or treating, you know, anybody born in the 90s knows how popular the Ghostface mask was on Halloween. Every kid trick or treating was wearing a Ghostface mask. I mean, you had kids that were just wearing their t-shirt and jeans with a Ghostface mask on, and that was just their costume. So when I was a kid and I had never seen these movies, I just thought this was a popular Halloween costume. I just thought this was a trendy thing, a trendy mask that kids got from, you know, Halloween stores and wore for the holiday. Ever since I was a kid, I've always had this tendency to kind of avoid popular things. I always kind of hate on the popular and trendy things. As I've gotten older, I've stopped doing that so much, or I try to not do it so much. But as a kid, for sure. So when I saw this mask everywhere, you know, in my mind was like, oh, you know, I don't like that Halloween costume. You know, these kids they're all just following these trends, blah, blah, whatever, you know. But then when I got to high school, you know, of course, I learned, oh, it's actually a horror franchise that came out around the time I was born. And like I said, the first Scream movie I remember watching was Scream 4 in high school. It's a very vague memory. I can't remember. I almost feel like I saw it in theater. I know the friends that I saw it with. I almost feel like we saw it in theater. We also could have rented it. My memory is terrible. But I do remember that was the first one I saw, and I remember liking it. Right? I didn't become a movie nerd until later in my life, but at that time, I remember watching it and liking it. So that was kind of when I warmed up to Ghostface a little bit. And then I got older and I went back and revisited, you know, Scream 1, 2, and 3. And obviously, Scream 1 is just an all time classic. And just hearing the house phone ring brings back, you know, fuzzy memories for me. Just hearing a phone ring, just hearing a landline phone ring. And then it's Sydney, of all people, answering it, right? On top of, I can always watch Sydney fight Ghostface. I can always watch Sydney answer phones. You could always play the sound of a phone ringing and show me Sydney Prescott's face, and I'll be excited. I'll be down for it. So, you know, as much as I wish I had a whole bunch of interesting things to say about the new trailer, and it's really just as simple as I like it, I'm down for it. You know, I will be seeing it in the theater, all backstage politics and all drama aside, you know, I think diehard Scream fans will probably enjoy this. Like I said, bring me Sydney versus Ghostface in the retirement home. Bring me these two characters in wheelchairs fighting, and I will be there to watch it.
And we're all here today to groove and have a beautiful time together, and that it's only the beginning. Sometimes I think I'm drunk and then I realize I am drunk. Sometimes I think I'm drunk and then I realize I